Hi, I'm Real Generic Demon, and this is a pixel player from MyArcade. It actually has, for a change, it actually has licensed games on it. However, there are only 8 of those, 8 Data East licensed games, but I assume all the other ones are licensed as well. And there's an awful lot of effort been made on the packaging here, because look, we've got this, and if I just pull up this, flip this up here, I'll just take a second, that's the actual console itself in there. That's the one. And then we've got the actual included Data East games on the top of there. So, I mean, there's an awful lot of effort for packaging for what is essentially just a cheap 8-bit console. Let's focus there on there for you a second. There we go, focusing on. Data East, what we need, what the requirements are battery-wise, who to contact, where they're at. So, what we'll do is, I'll pause it for a second then, and we'll get this thing open and we'll see what's actually in it. So hang on a second. Okay, so this is it out. But first I'd like to draw attention to, let's get the console out itself. Draw attention to a few other things, but one of which is, and I'll just put this one aside and I'll show you what I mean. The packaging has actually been reinforced. I mean, this is what I'm saying. There's an awful lot of effort been made here for just what we call a cheap console. If I bring the other piece of paper, the other bit of the console in, and look inside here if I can see if I can get the angle correctly for you. Yeah, there we go. Maybe an angle, getting a light there. There's a metal rivet in there, so they've actually coloured it correctly and everything. So they've made a real effort. So I'm actually quite hopeful that this little console is actually going to be quite impressive. Buttons, A and B. We've got reset. We've got a start. We've got the little console things there. It's got a sort of what you can expect on the screen. On top we've got obviously we've got the ons and offs. One is obviously backlight, so that was the only thing I was kind of a bit dodgy there. Standard micro USB, volume up and down, and then we've got various outputs, AV and AUX, and then on the back we have the actual battery ports. There's 2 there, so it's 4 AAA batteries that are required for this thing. So as I say, I'm quite hopeful about this thing. So just bring the manual in. Not usually much in these things, but I'll bring it in. We'll just have a quick look. So it's quite a nice thick manual though, and they've got their website down the bottom there, myarcadegaming.com. So there's Pixel Player. They do another version of this, which is I think it's a Pixel Boy, and it's kind of like, it looks a bit like a Game Boy, but it's effectively the same inputs and outputs. So just as I was saying before, you know, how you get your batteries in, what's going on with it. As I say, I'm quite hopeful for this. I'm quite hopeful for it being quite an impressive little console for what it's got. So we got the support, international support there. We've got the warranty, and then of course you're back into different languages. Unfortunately, no list of other games. So you've got the initial sort of you know, what we had from Data East, but we don't have a list of any other games, unfortunately. So I'm going to power it up and we're going to see what's on there. As I say, I'm quite hopeful for this. I think this has got a lot of scope for play here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, and I'm going to try, if I can, to you know, get an AV output and possibly put it on the screen. But I'll see if I've got a cable, because it needs a 2.5mm AV cable, and I don't think I've got one of those. So we'll see what happens anyway. Okay, I'll be back very shortly. Talk to you soon. Bye bye. Right. Okay. So it has batteries in it, and it's powered up. I gave it a little test beforehand, and you're going to see something very interesting. Let's just say this didn't last long. I played 3 games on it, and in that process, I'll just turn this on, which is a bit of a difficult thing. There's a couple of modes so they're turning on. One puts the lights on the switches, or the buttons, so you can see those are lit. How exciting. Okay, 308 games included. The first 8 are the only ones that are actually licensed. They're the Data East ones, and they're basically just the Nintendo Entertainment System or Famicom versions of them. And then the rest of them are, well, you'll never find them anywhere other than here or other consoles that use the same set of things. When you open them, they're not even licensed. Where was the one I found earlier? Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here we go. Outrun. Yeah, it's not the Outrun you're thinking of. It's and you know, it's a bit telling. You can tell to begin with that these aren't, these aren't anything else. I'll just turn the volume down a touch. They aren't anything else other than sort of either homebrew Famicom games or something these guys have knocked up, because there's not even there's no publisher name or designer name on it, nothing to show that's represented. And this is kind of Frogger in reverse. I'm right at the top corner there, and I've just died. The little guy comes out and goes across to land on the bridge. It's a bit silly, but I want to show you the big problem here. I mean, there's lots and lots of games here, but as I say, only 8 of them are actually physically licensed. I get that, I understand that, but I kind of wish these guys would just do, I don't know, 25, fantastic games and maybe 8 licensed ones, the really sort of good games. I mean, but they don't seem to do that. There's some shoot 'em ups on here that are okay, they're not very exciting, to be honest with you. And because of the expense and cost of this console, I think this is an awful lot here for what effectively is only a handful of licensed games. Just those 8 licensed games. I mean, I think that the music says it all. Listen. Oh, it's full on music, isn't it? I mean, I thought, looking at the console, you think, oh, it's nice and robust and solid and whatever else it is. However, I've literally played about 4 games on here, and let me just show you my problem. This is I played 4 or 5 games on here. I haven't played on it long. I've had it less than a couple of hours since it was delivered by the old postman. And I'm going to show you now. I can't shoot, and I can't jump, because they literally, those 2 buttons, the A and B button, are already broken. It lasted, I played on it for 15-20 minutes before the buttons actually broke. The buttons are broken. How bad is that? You kind of, oh god, if you push on them really hard, nothing happens. It feels to me, from the angle, because they're at a slight angle now, this is sort of angled down, what's happened is they've slipped inside the mechanism. So what's happened is that the position of it slipped while we're actually using it. So yeah, it looks nice. Somebody went to a lot of effort to try and make a nice case. However, somebody didn't play test it beyond. It works with a couple of games, it feels like. They just zapped on a whole bunch of other ones. And this is actually going to go back. I'm going to send this back because I can't keep something that doesn't work. I mean, it's just a disappointment, really, in that sense. I may have just been unlucky and it was faulty anyway, but I don't think that's the case. I think what I've actually got here is I've got a situation where, yeah, I can't even play. No, because I can't push the buttons. They just don't work. I'm just pushing them so hard now. But if you gave this to a child play, I mean, at least it doesn't call itself retro. I'm quite pleased about that. But if you gave this to a kid, you'd be really disappointed. You wouldn't last long. And you'd be sending it back again. There's a quality issue there. The design's nice, but as I say, there's a serious quality issue here. And it's quite disappointing, really, because it does look quite nice with its sort of 8-bit edges and all the other bits that go with it. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the MyArcade Pixel Player. Yeah, quite disappointing. Sorry about that. Anyway, I've been your host, Real Genetic Demon. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.